We decided to be here today because I believe that this is important to you. That's why you are here, and we are so much thrilled. In fact, you made it possible because without you, this whole program would be nothing. And I want to say personally, I'm grateful, and may God bless you. I hope that when you walk through those doors today, you will walk out as a transformed person. You walk out there, putting things back into perspective. And that's what this program is about. So like I said, I'm not here to make speeches. I'm not here because of what we've done or what's going on. No. I'm here because we believe that we can change the world. That's why I'm here. And to change the world, you don't have to change the entire world by yourself. You can change one person at a time, one individual at a time. For that one person, it means a lot. If a child is not in school and you're able to help that child to go to school, you've changed that child's life. It doesn't matter whether you're able to help everybody in the village, but you help one person, and that's a change. And that's the philosophy that we have. My name is Wowoh. I'm from Liberia, Africa, and I know we have a lot of Liberians in this room, but we all are not from Liberia here. I've realized that already. So I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm from Lofa County originally. Grew up in bomb mines, and the war came, we got separated. I lived for 14 years of the whole Civil War in different refugee camps, name it, from Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria, Togo. And I came to the US on the refugee relocation program, just like some of you are already aware. So the story is not for me to repeat what already has happened in Liberia, but to help you today look at the bigger picture. I call it what? The bigger picture. The smaller picture is you. The smaller picture here today is Eric. The bigger picture is about the world. It's about a nation. It's about a dying generation. It's about how you're going to leave the world behind. It's about what you're going to be remembered for forever and ever when you leave. That's what it's about today. So I lived in a refugee camp for 14 years, but my mom never taught me how to hold a microphone and speak to people. She never taught me about that. She never taught me about the Cajuns. You're going to live one day among the Cajuns, and you guys are going to have a bunch of crawfish. Never taught me that. Never taught me one day that, well, when you get to the U.S., Annie Wright will be on the East Coast with Miss Comfort and her team, and this is what's going to happen in your life. My parents never taught me that. So God has a plan, a purpose. It's the reason why we all gathered here today. It's not a coincidence, not a mistake that you are here. Change Agent Network is a non-profit that's just been around for 8 years, from the refugee camp to the US. I would say 8 years, approximately 8 years. But so far, we've been to Nigeria, we've been to Louisiana, we've been to Missouri, we've been to India, and then today we are here on the East Coast. And in Liberia, we're in 4 counties already. We have a high school coming up right now in Lofa County. We built one in Maserati County in Liberia, in Monrovia area. There's one in Bomi, Buchanan, and then Habel. All happening within the space of 8 years. But maybe if I was to give you a topic for what I'm about to discuss with you today, I would say, unclog the pipe. I want you to look at your neighbor and say, unclog the pipe. The problem we have is because we have clogged the pipe. How many of us eat every day without going to the restroom? You just eat. Hello? You sit on the table, you eat the kasali, the potato grain, you drink the fufu soup, the goat soup, and you drink the Bud Light, the Budweiser oil, and never go to the restroom. What will so happen to you? You get sick, and you get sick, what happened? You die, and when you die, who's responsible? Yourself. So today, we have clogged the pipe, and none of us are dying. And then we hold other people responsible, right? Yes. All we need to do is to think about this, that the pipe is clogged, and we need to unclog it. When I breathe in, what do? If I refuse to breathe out, you die. When I smile at you, what do? And if I don't smile at you, what do? Hello? Think about this. The Bible says that be not deceived, God is not mocked. Whatever a man sows, so shall he what? Reap. So if you plant, you harvest. If you don't plant, what happens? You don't harvest. So when other people harvesting, do not be envious. Because they plant a seed. Do not fuss. Do not point fingers. Hold yourself responsible. Ask yourself, since I breathe in, have I breathed out? Ask yourself, since I ate yesterday, have I been to the restroom today? Unclog the pack. There are a lot of stuff in the way. We've got to get it out. Let it flow. And when it flows, the world will be a better place. We have no time to fight. The only reason why we fight is because one person grabs everything and keeps everything that he grabs. And so the rest of the people are going to die. And the day they have an opportunity to fight, they say, hey, we want to destroy everybody in this time. He said, let's go for it. I have nothing to lose. My life is already a mess. I don't have a purpose. I can't even feed my family. My kids not in school. No hospital, no roads, no electricity. And you want to help me change that? Let's go for it. That's why we have so much war going on. People feel helpless, worthless to themselves. How can you protect what you have when the priority is not to empower the people around you? You've been called to live a life of significance, not success. And there's a difference between the two. You can be a successful man this time, nobody cares about what kind of car you drive, what home you live in, how many kids you have, what school you graduated from. Who cares? And the day you die, that's the end of the whole thing. That chapter closes. What you're going to be remembered for are the things that you make happen for others. Are you going to leave the world better than you met it, or are you going to leave it worse? That's the question, not just for Liberians in this room, or Cameroonians, or Americans. It's for all of us to answer. There are two important dates in our lives. The date that you were born and the date that you die. Two dates, very important. Not your wedding date, it's one of them, but the very important dates, the two. We know the day you got in. The day you're going to get out is the date that is unknown. And when you get out, while your body is lying down over there, people are going to come out and give speeches about what you did with your life. Now, I call that the dots between the two dates. The dots. What dots are you writing today that you want people to talk about when you are gone? That dots, I cannot write yours for you. I'm trying to write mine. Americans, we have to write their own dots. Liberians, we have to do their own. Children, we have to write their own dots, fill in the gap. Mom, we have to do that for herself. They're not going to take my gap or my dot and fill it out for my mom. No, that's not the way it works. This is a question we all got to sincerely ask ourselves. When I got to the U.S. in 2006, before I left the refugee camp, this computer school today, Changing the Network, started in the refugee camp. There was no big fancy meeting like this on the high table and get the drinks of, how do you call it? Orange juice, pineapple juice with ice in the glass. It didn't start that way. I remember when the war started, 14 years running all over the place, no direction. And that's the way many of us, even though today we find ourselves in the most #1 country of the world, we're still running around with no destination. And that's the worst spot you want to be in. Drive, get into the car in the morning, no destination. I just want to drive around town. How much gas do you have? Or get to the airport and ask you where you flying to. I don't know, I just want to fly. Which flight is going to pick you up? Some of us, we said, Lord, we can't do much because we are refugees. Well, those days are over now. We can't do much because the whole country is at war. There's chaos, there's destruction. Our hands are tied behind our backs. We give excuses. And then God said, this is what's going to happen. He said, we can't do much because the Crown people and this guy and this person is responsible. Great. Today, in the United States, for those who are from Liberia, we have all the tribes present. True of us. All the tribes are here present. The Crown people are here. Loma people, Gizi people, we're all here, right? So no more government being there, right? 50-50. So who else are we going to hold responsible if we don't build it? Ourselves. But I met this guy in Nigeria. He's a Nigerian, never been to Liberia. Still have not been to Liberia. I went to Lagos one day out of desperation. There was no food in the camp. And I went to this church to meet a Liberian pastor in that church, and he wasn't available. And I stopped this guy. I had no transportation to get back to the refugee camp because I went with one way. You know one way? When I go to pay my way back. That's the mentality I went. I'm going to see this guy, he will transport me back. And I got there, I couldn't find the guy. I'm stuck. And the refugee camp is about 2 hours away from Lagos. Who else can I talk to? Everybody else in church that they had spoke to about my situation said, oh, there's a Liberian pastor here somewhere around. Let's find a guy to help you. You from Liberia? Yeah, hold on. And we couldn't find a guy. So eventually I came to the church lobby, and this gentleman standing at a book stand, taking a look at the books. And I said, hey, my name is Eric. I'm a Liberian refugee. I came from the refugee camp to find Pastor Jackson. Took back, but he's not here, and I need to get back to the camp, but I have no money to go back. Then he looked at me and he said, did you say refugee camp? I said, yes. He said, no, we don't have any refugee camp here in this country. I said, no, you do have a refugee camp. He said, I've never heard about it before. So I said, ask your people. So he asked somebody that in the audience, they go, oh, yeah, we have a refugee camp. We'll go stay. Those Liberians, in that camp. So he said, so what brought you here? And I explained what brought me. Things are rough on the camp. I came to see if I could get some money from Pastor Jackson to feed. He said, well, Eric, I'm visiting this church for the first time. I was invited here by somebody else. This is not my church. However, now that you convinced me there's a refugee camp, if you can hang around somewhere in the city tomorrow, 12 o'clock, I'd love to have lunch with you. So he showed me where to meet. I slept in the street in Lagos at night to have that important appointment. I went for the appointment. He gave me 5,000 naira. And the 5,000 naira, by conversion right now, I would say it would be like $50. Yeah, $50, 50 US dollars. And he said, take this money and take it to the camp and manage it. Keep me informed. Let me know what's going on in camp. We stayed consistently in contact for 18 months. And one day, it was Christmas of 2003, he called me. He said, how's life in the refugee camp? I said, well, I cannot describe it to you. I'm your friend, right? We've been friends for 18 months. It's about time you come and see what I live. So he said, sure, I would love to come. Christmas, come and pick me up. And I picked that man up. We went to the refugee camp. And he stood up. The first thing he saw was a bunch of young people. No education, no purpose. Liberian fighting Salonians, Salonian fighting Liberian, Congolese fighting Sudanese, Sudanese fighting Ethiopian in the camp. And every day we have mobile police show up in the camp to arrest people and go lock them up. And he said, Eric, how long you been in this situation? I said, well, since the 90s, since the war started. He said, so what do you want to do now? I said, well, I want to go to computer school, but I don't have the money. He said, well, I'm going to England, and when I come back, I would love to give you a computer. It may not be some of the best computers, but just help you with one. Sure. Came back in December of 2003 and brought a computer in the trunk of his car with a little Tiger generator. For those of you from Liberia, you know what I'm talking about, Tiger generator. It's a small generator. And he said, I want you to use this to help yourself. Freedom without empowerment is useless. What's the point of you fighting for freedom when you don't know what to do with the freedom you've gotten? So we're in the camp, we're no longer running away from bullets, but we're useless to ourselves and worthless to ourselves because there's no empowerment. I got that one computer. Today, that man gave that computer that probably he had no use for. Probably it didn't mean anything to him. I just want to help one refugee guy in the camp. That computer had traveled. Today we have one of the best free computer schools in Johnsonville, where Liberian police go for education for free. We shipped over 9,000 computers to Liberia. Our most recent shipment left 3 days ago with 300 used computers from Louisiana. But guess what? It's all connected to what? That one computer. In Nigeria, by the time I was leaving the camp, by 2006, we had graduated close to 3,000 refugees from different countries, not just from Liberia. And we handed that center over to the UNHCR to manage. And then that night, when I was leaving, that week, we had a meeting. I called all my Liberian guys to the meeting and said, look, I'm going to America, okay? But now, this vision we started here must not die here. We got to take it back home. So I need some guys to make a commitment, I mean serious commitment, that we go back to Liberia while I'm going to the US so that we can continue this journey. And that night I had 6 guys put up their hands, Eric, we will go. But that doesn't make sense. This guy's going to the United States, and then he asked me to go to the war zone country. Does that make sense? My man, you're too smart. You think God sense? I know that stupid man to you. You go to America and actually go to... That's where you guys should go. 6 guys. Out of the 6 today, we got 4 and we are still working with Liberia. And because of the 4 guys' dedication, it took me 2 years in America before I got on a plane to go back to Liberia to meet them. We built 5 different structures. We are building houses and stuff. You're going to see the video presentation in a little bit. But that's about enough of me now. Let's talk about you. That's how I came here. And the vision is still ongoing. Today we all couldn't make it on the plane. Over 100 people we have all over the city in Louisiana, in Atlanta. We have people in Indiana on board. This month, next week, I'm leaving for Liberia with a team of 9 persons. Out of the 9, I'm the only Liberian going back home. I'm the only Liberian going. The rest of the people are Caucasians. We want to go. My gosh, the situation is tough. We want to go and help. And what can we do? I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. I'm a classroom teacher. What can we do? We watch the television. It's discussing what we see on TV, but then fix it. You are in charge. It's happening on your clock. And those people we go to Lofa to build a school, they'll be working in Liberia for 3 weeks for free. Nobody's paying them. Just like when Heather got on the plane, nobody paid our transportation. She spent 2 weeks there. And then we're paying our teachers $30 US a day, a month. Today they are making $80 a month. 53 teachers teaching in the high school. Our principal makes $180 a month. How many of us leave $180 on the table when you enter the restaurant? Or how many of us use that to pay our girlfriend's phone bill? Or boyfriend's phone bill? Or go to McDonald's, hey, grab a drink, take a drink, I'm going to pay for it. And you slide a card. It doesn't mean anything to me. If I give to you and you give back to me, it's a business exchange. It's business transaction. You already have what you want. But when you give to me, I can give back to you, then that becomes a different issue. You have to look up to God to reward you for that. So, we are not here to do business transactions today. We are here to do something that we've never done before. Step out of the boat. Get out of your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is the destroyer of your life. You don't see the bigger picture from your comfort zone. No way. You only learn that you are a tough guy when you are faced with a tough situation. That's where you got to know how tough you are. But you never be in a tough situation. How can you go around telling people I'm strong, I can fight? Who have you fought before? Nobody. So today, I said thank you. It's an honor. We have a long way to go. Liberia, the problem we face as a nation did not start yesterday. Generation upon generation have been shifting the blame. Shifting the blame. Our generation, we don't want to shift the blame. We want to take full responsibility. This is the bus stop. The bus is not going to go beyond this point. This is the bus stop. We don't want to look at our children tomorrow in Liberia and say, you know what, I really had a great plan for you, but I never had $1 million in my account. My mom did not send me to school. They raped my mom this before, okay? The first thing is that I lived in a refugee camp for 14 years, but I didn't know what depression was. I've never seen depression. In Africa, you see a child with no shoes, no shirt, no pants on, but they have a smile and they're running around. You see a lady with 10 children to feed, with no job, no education. She doesn't know what Walmart or Amazon is. She doesn't know what a food stamp is. But she's still happy. She want to help you. And I walk in the room, I said, what up? Depressed people in this room? They're all depressed, Harry. They pay $150 for counseling. Well, I need that $150 to do a lot more work. So I think I have a solution to this problem. Let's talk about depression. Do you have a car? Who walked into this room here today? Put your hand up. You walk. You walk by foot. 3 miles away to get here today. Nobody did. But you are depressed. How many of you have slept in a refugee camp for just a week? Not for a day. For a week, just 1 week. Or just a one day. None of them have ever. How many of you have a bank account? I'm not telling you how much you have in the account. I'm saying you have an account, a bank account. And the whole hands went up. How many of you have a job? Hands went up. How many of you know where Walmart, Albertson is? Hands went up. Your 911 number still works. It went up. AAA still works. Went up. Food stamp, you know where to go. Went up. Unemployment, you know where to go. It went up. How many of you know where your dad and your mom is right now? You want to see them, you can find them. You know where they are in this country. The hands went up. But the question is, where is depression coming from? I'm not depressed. And for me, all these questions are yes for me. I spent 14 years in the refugee camp. I was about 12 when I became a refugee. And I ran around all over the place like a madman. I came to the U.S. as a refugee. So I'm an official refugee. But I'm not depressed. When we gather like this, many people think we gather to raise money for Africa. But it's both ways. There's a lot Africa has to offer. There's a lot the poor has to offer the rich. And there's a lot the rich has to help the poor. What we do is to put life into perspective. The lady in the village don't know how much job you have, it's just that you make $2,000 a month. When I go to Africa, I don't tell people how much my rent is. Because you're going to blow their mind away. $600, $1,000 a month for your rent. Just your rent? That's more than the minister's salary. And then we look at them and we say, there's nothing we can do. Life not easy. And I think they will be saying, why don't you come down, let me go up there? Since it's not easy. So, in a nutshell, before I show you the video, we all have a responsibility. Let's unclog the pipe. You've been called to be a channel, not a reservoir. Not to eat and eat without going to the restaurant. Have you ever seen a tree bear fruits and the tree eats its own fruit? Hello? That tree right here. If this tree bears fruits, will this tree eat its own fruit? Why not? They bear it. They work hard for it. The tree work hard. Why won't the tree eat its own fruit? Because it's never done like that. The fruitfulness of your life is not in you eating your own stuff. The fruitfulness of your life is about how many people depends on you on a daily basis to live. That if you stop doing what you do today, there'll be chaos. That somebody's going to die. That's when you get to know how significant your life is. If I stop doing what I do, will it cause the death of somebody? Being important has nothing to do with the kind of car you drive, or the house you live in, or how you look. Your real self is on the inside. It's something no one can take away from you. That's your real self. It's having to even do with a degree. Put a degree apart. The degree, the importance of the degree is in you. It's not in the paper. So let's put that aside. So the thing is that we want to unclog the pipe. In America, we try to help America to understand one thing. You never choose to be born in America, and I never choose to be born in Liberia. None of us choose to be born where we were born. And none of us choose to be where we are right now in life. But that comes with a huge responsibility. What are we going to do? Are we going to look at the next generation and say, there's no more hope, let's give it up? Take care of yourself, I take care of myself, God take care of all. Are we going to stand up and do the right thing? I say thank you so much for the opportunity today. Before you walk through that door, please talk to Mrs. Annie or talk to the women here. Find a way. We call it Change Agent Network. And you know why that is? Each and every one here is a potential agent of change. In your family, in your local community, in the nation, you are a potential agent of change. Some believe it and some don't. There are no superheroes out there. We are all heroes. But you got to believe it and step up. This is a golden opportunity for you. And